Hey everybody. So, tonight we are doing another dev stream. We have the character artists with us. We have Rainer's with us. Koji's with us, animator. Um, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of things to show tonight. And with me right now, I'm actually going to let everybody start introducing themselves. So, with me right here, I'm always terrible at pointing, a direction. But Joel B is right here, and he's going to go ahead and introduce himself. Go ahead.
Buddy. I'm Joel. I'm a technical character artist here at the Fun Pimps. I've worked at id Software, Reddit, Dawn, Robot, Discord, and of course now at the Fun Pimps. And I've been here for about 2 years now. Um, yeah, we're gonna show some character art soon.
Cool. Okay, and then I'm going to hide you for just a second because I realized I don't have a good way of switching y'all's videos over. And okay, so here we go. And here is Joey. Joey, go ahead and say hi.
Hey, I'm Joey Struve. Uh, been with the company since before we even had a name, and done a lot of the artwork, mainly characters and the zombies. So tonight we're gonna show what we've been working on. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Cool. And then now we're gonna make people hide again, and then I'm gonna show. Yep, I got the right one. Here is Keanu. Go ahead, Keanu.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? So I've been with the company for about 2 years now. Worked in the game industry for about 3 to 5 years. I've done uh, marketing art for like toys and also done some work for Lockheed Martin. So yeah.
Cool. And then now I'm going to pop up Brett. There he is. Go ahead, Brett.
Hey everybody, I'm Briley, character artist for about 20 plus years, coming from Disney before I got into the game industry. Red Storm, Sony Online Entertainment, Ensemble Studios, did software where I hung out with some of these guys and been doing a lot of freelance for the past 7 years. I went to different companies and then until I enjoyed the fun pitch. So that's some of what I've done.
Cool. And then let's do Ryan Rayner. Boom. Go ahead, Rayner.
Hi, my name is Ryan Rayner. I don't do characters, but I make them jiggle sometimes. And I also do various effects work and supplemental work as well.
Cool. And then last but not least, here is the CEO of Higashi Pharmaceuticals, Koji.
Hi, I'm Koji Higashi, and I've been working with Fun Pimp since 2000, late 2014, and yeah, do animation character setup. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm gonna hide him for a moment because we're actually gonna bring Joel back. So that's who we're gonna start with. We're gonna be showing off a lot of characters. We have some videos. We got a few things to show. So here I'm gonna bring Joel back for just a moment, and then I'm gonna let you. Actually, I need to pull up your stuff, the things you want to show. Because really, if you want, we can just jump right into it. I can pull up the first picture on screen, which would make you disappear. Actually, it would make both of us disappear. I would just turn it on, then you can start talking, and we can go through them one by one, if that sounds good to you. You're muted. And I pointed the wrong way again. I told you all I was terrible at this.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Just for a moment, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the first image on the screen because I want it to look great for you all whenever you see it. I want to make sure it actually lets me. There it goes. Okay. Last time I had so much problems with clicking the image to go back and forth, but it seems to be working now. So some of these you may have seen from the first night, but we're going to show a lot of different things. So go take it away, Joel.
So this is one of the updated zombies. It's a burnt zombie new model that'll be dropping soon for A20. he's a burnt zombie. What can I say? It was fun to model this guy. Not the best to, or most fun reference to look at, but loads of fun sculpting him, and had a lot of good feedback from these guys that help bring it to life. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys love this one when it comes in. This is the just a high poly render of the burnt zombie. We have a process. It's basically three main stages where we have a high resolution model, and a game resolution model, and a texturing phase. And that process we call a pipeline. We work on all three of those stages, or sometimes we work together on all those three stages to finish a character. But this is just a back view of the burnt zombie, obviously, and the high poly stage, the high resolution stage. And there's a quick shot of a detailed shot of his stomach, so you can see all the nasty stuff that's going on there. And I think the next one is a headshot. So yeah, that's the burnt zombie. And then here's a new screamer zombie. It's an in-game model, low poly, textured, everything there. Yeah, giant mouth, obviously. I don't know. And then here's the new Trader Hugh model. This one we all worked on, really. Briley did the sculpting, the high resolution model. Keanu did he did the low res model for this guy, the in-game model, and then I did the texturing and some of the beard work for this one. So it's a pretty collaborative effort.
Looks
on
really
this
good.
guy. And the same goes for these next couple models. They're trader updates, but we all worked on kind of the same way. Again, Briley worked on this one for the high poly. This is the new Trader Joel model. Keanu did the low, and I worked on the texture for this guy. And then this is Trader Wrecked. Again, Brett Briley sculpted this guy. Keanu did the low, and or Brett. I think Brett did most of the low actually on this guy, and then I textured this new model for Trader Wrecked. So we are texturing in Substance Painter. I don't know if anybody out there knows about or uses that program, but it's a lot of fun.
This is probably everybody's favorite trader because he's so friendly, right? Everybody. He's
sure.
Just a jolly person. Okay. I think that's the end of your screenshots. Do you want me to? Is there anything else you want me to show? I mean, I think that's it.
Well, if we want to go through and show everybody, so we might be able to do some back and forth after the fact and kind of show how these things tie together. Like as I mentioned before, and some of these three of us or more worked on each one of these models, so it might be kind of neat to jump back and forth and see what everybody else has to show, and then we can tie it back to some of these things.
Yeah. Okay, so then here, how about this? Joey, I think I'm just gonna pop up your first screenshot if that's okay.
Cool, sounds good.
So take it away.
It's a zombie white. So he's going to replace the feral zombie. Feral zombie is the one that's got like a naked guy with his guts hanging out. It's real scary. So this guy, he's got a lot of damage. He's supposed to be a little bit more scary. Hope you guys like the changes. There's another image a little closer. Yeah, there you go. So, yep, a lot of damage. This is the new worker zombie. Yeah, the older worker zombie had a lot of player pieces on, like the player helmet, and it was just kind of a thrown together kind of thing. So I was able to just kind of redo it from scratch. So hopefully it looks better for you guys. Yes, this is the mechanic. Kind of a janitor, whatever, kind of a guy you can see in different locations. So these are sort of general population, like nothing real special about them. White might have a little more strength than the other ones though. And this is the thug. He replaces the skateboarder guy, kind of hoodie guy. Getting a little more detail than the old guys. Close up of them.
Yeah, he looks really good. I like the
Thank
thug.
you. Yeah, I like that his face turned out. Yeah, this is just to show the sculpt of them, kind of part of the process. We sculpt these things and then we bake them down to a low poly so they can run on your machine. Now oh yeah, this is the old spider zombie. So he's going to be a general population zombie now. But he used to be the guy that would run up walls and get to you where the other zombies couldn't. This is actually a guy that backed our Kickstarter back in 2013 named Tom Clark. So he put a lot of money in there, so he got to become one of the zombies.
And he's still in the game.
Still in there. It was a while back.
There's a closer of him.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully I did him justice, get a good enough likeness of him. And this is a Trader Bob. Trader Bob model. Cool. He's pretty close to the old looking Trader Bob, like it's just more up-res. But still, done from scratch. I think that's all I had in there, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the new models. Like a couple years ago, we decided to, go high definition on this stuff, and I was able to hire the 3 guys that I really wanted. Feel pretty lucky about that. Really talented guys here.
Cool. I think now we are gonna show. I feel like we're blowing through these too fast. I don't want us to. Well, I guess it's probably fine. So here's what we're gonna do. Keanu, I think I can just maybe start up your images, if that's fine with you.
Yep, sounds good.
And we always see Joel in the background for half a second. It just.
So, this is the high poly sculpt of the businessman zombie. I think the last alpha stream, we showed a little bit of him. He was still pretty early, but this is the final sculpt of him. Yeah, I don't remember how different he looks now. It's been a while since I actually worked on this guy. But there's the high poly sculpt done in ZBrush. And the next image, yeah, so this is the textured low poly in-game version. And yeah, I hope this guy, came out pretty good. Yeah, there's the nice close-up shot of all the gore and ripped face. And his eyeballs, I kind of wanted, when you're in the dark, when he pops out, I kind of wanted to pierce his eyes to pierce through the dark and hopefully jump scare.
He looks really good.
Thanks. Yep, and yeah, so this is the new nurse zombie I got to do. This again, high poly sculpt. It replaced the old nurse. I like to call her the Party City nurse because she kind of had like a costume of a nurse. So this one has the typical scrubs that the nurses have. And the next shot should be the textured in-game version. Yeah, there you go. And then I think for this one, compared to the other one too, we started incorporating more props. So you see her badge and I forgot what they call it, to hear the heartbeat.
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope.
I got you.
Thank you, Nathan.
That's what I'm here for. Useless facts.
And then nice close-up shot, and on the badge you can actually see a little bit of before she turned. So it's like a little sneak peek or a little Easter egg, I guess, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. And the lumberjack, yeah. So this guy was really fun to do because he was a pretty big character. So the old lumberjack, he only spawned in the snow biomes, and he kind of had this like frost tint on him. So we wanted to, make him be able to spawn anywhere, pretty much. So the next image kind of got rid of that frosty tint and just kind of made him a typical lumberjack. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, he was super fun, real beefy, a lot of beard. I'd say hair is not my favorite thing to work on with these characters, just because you gotta be real careful on how you place it. Technically it's a lot more to handle and deal with. And with this guy, Lumberjack 2, we probably went through a couple of hats with him. The first hat he had, I think they're called a skull cap. It's like real thin, kind of mountain man type of look. And he ended up just looking like a giant gnome that was just running at you, a dead giant gnome. So we landed on just the folded up beanie. I think it feels a lot.
It's kind of
better.
terrifying, the idea of a gnome running at you like a giant
gnome. Yeah. I tried. Yeah, so many different hats. Just try to slowly move away from that, but yeah, I think this one landed pretty well. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll have something. I don't want to promise anything. And which one's the next one? Yeah, so this is some low poly models that I did. Joe kind of touched upon, the final look of it, where we all got to do a part of it, and so these are the only ones I'm able to show. There's quite a bit that's kind of top secret, so.
Hush,
So
hush.
for now, this is what we have, and pretty much, just making sure it's in-game model. It doesn't blow up your computer if it runs, and then making sure I work with Koji on animation, make sure things don't stretch too crazy or any weird pops.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Especially these guys because they have a lot of belts around the chest, a lot of bullets and stuff,
Like
and
the coat and stuff too. Yeah.
any kind of coat, capes, or just bit of a hassle to skin, I'd imagine, for Koji.
No. Yeah, a lot of them actually. Yeah.
So yeah, these guys I think the whole team was pretty happy with how they ended up. New traders, and then the hazmat zombie up top, which Joey actually finished the texture, and he came out looking pretty sweet. And Brett did the scopes on all three. So it was, some low poly stuff right there.
Cool.
And I think that's everything I put up.
Yeah, I think that's it for Keanu. So Brett, it is your turn, and I'll start with those. So everybody, we have a lot of stuff to show, so we're gonna just be kind of kicking through all this. Here is your character sheets. It's always funny seeing Joel, like, for that half second right before it pops up.
I did not grade Joel. I could not. My skill's not there. This is the cop, HD cop that I got a chance to work on. He was just fun. So I wanted to make him a little bit more bloated and kind of gross. The pustules on his face, I kind of went a little bit wild, like a zit, just got a little bit loose in his teenage years and kept going. And a lot of times that I do the character, we get concepts from Shen, who's a great concept guy, but a lot of times I like to kind of, if I start working on something, I want to kind of tell a story. So that's what I was kind of just trying to do with this guy. I also have it to where his hat is a separate element in hopes that at some point in time, you know, we might be able to knock it off, or if Koji gets a chance to do an animation, and, you know, he's flustered. Just playing off with a little bit, but that's part of some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about on the jiggle tech that kind of plays in. This guy was not the first one, but that is something that we are able to use now to add some weight to his belly or movement, which is the subtleties that I always like to go for. But yeah, he was just kind of fun. Just some of the story behind him. So this is the high poly done in ZBrush, and a lot of times I do poly paint to kind of give off of what the concept is and to kind of give an idea of what I might be doing towards texturing. So this is the in-game version. I did the low poly and UVs and texturing. As you can see in the upper right-hand corner, a lot of times I just show the wireframe along with the final in-game asset. So pulling out all the blood, pulling out all the stuff, using the poly paint to kind of give myself a base, like a template of where I'm going to go with it, and just kind of playing with within substance to get the different PBR materials that, you know, cloth is cloth, metal is metal, you know, leathers, so on, for the shininess and everything. Now, I did want to make his little pustules kind of glow, and especially if he goes into his radiated stage kind of stuff. So when he goes there, I kind of brought in some like the glowing pustules to make it kind of sick and disgusting. And so he was kind of a fun character. And so let's see the next guy. This is the new HD Zombie Soldier. He was a fun one. I wanted to, again, you know, with the story, he started out, he has his protective vest onto it, but I wanted to kind of show that the zombies, other zombies kind of ripped away the vest, got in for some of the goodness and candies of the intestines and everything, and have some stuff hanging. To again, hopefully push to where some things that Ryan's going to be showing, which is pretty awesome, to kind of push that subtleties that kind of, you know, make the character feel a little bit more alive. Also on the face, you know, I have a couple bullet holes, like kind of like he lost in the battle or somebody shot him to get away, and so on. So he was a fun one, and this is the final in-game asset, as you can actually see, with the substance again, trying to do the military. I changed it a little bit from more of the green to a little bit more desert to kind of have him pop off of all of our nice visuals and the environment to kind of have him pop. But again, so now you're able to see the bloody intestines and everything kind of coming down. So that was kind of fun. And I think from the high poly, I took out like a tool in his back just to help with it. Nope, we're fine. Okay.
Sorry.
So, Lathan's wanted me to speed up. Okay.
No, I'm not actually. You take your time. I can go back. I accidentally clicked it.
Okay, no, you can go back. I was just going to show to where from the front.
There it is.
The front belt, that's where it's ripped away. I had to make sure that the poly loops were kind of consistent for Koji to make it easier. And it's a sort of like a separate element, so that way we can do some jiggle tech to where I have some stuff kind of open up and look like it's kind of flapping along with it. This guy's helmet cannot come off because it's kind of wrapped around and told part of the story. And I actually have him rip it into the backpack as well, just for some fun. Like, so everything's not just in the front. You can see them from behind, and you get some interest as well. Okay, you can jump onto the spider. Sorry, I like to talk, guys.
No, that's fine. I really didn't mean to push the button, and then yeah.
This is the spider zombie. I had the task of kind of updating the HD zombie, and I wanted to make him a little bit more insectoid, not quite alien. I did go a little bit further than I wanted to in the first one. This is the second variation that was kind of, I had to pull back, but I wanted to not necessarily mutate him. I just wanted to kind of show that he's got a little bit of, you can see the spine, because again, I'm looking for silhouette when he's cowering, moving back and around. And the jaws, I don't know if you can see, has kind of like a little split down the middle. Pretty much was watching Blade, and the second Blade where the predator jaws, everything else would kind of open up. And I have like a tongue that I want to pop out, which you guys will see. Because again, I try to think when I'm creating these guys, I want to bring some like the story or what they might be about or how they might animate as well. Coming from my Disney background, I always try to think of that for my characters. How would they move? What would be some of the interest? And again, as a gamer, I want to make these things as scary as hell, especially in the dark, coming at you guys. So you're welcome. But and then he's got a little bit of shorts. He's kind of like the Hulk. That's why I kind of made it green. The Bruce Banner homage. So. But yeah, this is the high poly of it, and then this is the low poly version. As you can see, you could probably see the split down the middle of the jaw. I also carried it up into the top of the head, just to make it. You can see some of the skull, so it's almost kind of ripping apart. And brought more of the rib cage along with the vertebrae out to kind of separate, because he's pretty much a monster suit, just a skin bag. There's not a lot of different materials that you could play off of. So that's why I brought more of the bones in there. So I have blood, I have bone, I have the skin, and then very little metal. So it kind of allows me to play with some of the materials for a visual hit, which helps in the silhouette distances as well. So you can kind of see this guy. I made his eyes white with no pupils to make it kind of like you can't reason with a sucker. He has no soul, so you're dead. So this was fun, and the little extra teeth kind of hopefully will kind of wrap in and wrap back out and kind of screen with it. So we'll see. So he was fun. Next one's fine, Lathan. This is the updated lab zombie. Pretty much she's just like sort of like the nurse, but she's more the scientist that kind of created some of probably the diseases that we're dealing with. So I wanted to mess her up pretty good. I did crack into her skull to show some of the brain to kind of like make the hair kind of matted. Again, hair is kind of a pain to deal with, and kind of again telling the story. So she has a badge of what she used to look like on her front and stuff. Originally in the concept, she had no left hand, and to me, I was trying to like, I screwed up her left side, like where the attacks came from. So I was thinking instead of just having the stump and like, where's her hand? Come find it as like a little treat. I decided to have a separated hand that was hopefully going to be, again, part of this physics jiggle tech. So she'll be carrying her hand around, barely strung on there, and so she'll just kind of like have some cool little features where it'll be dangling and kind of, to me, makes it a little bit more sick and kind of like, because it's hanging on by a thread, as they say. So that was kind of the fun for her. But I'm always trying to push the tech of what we could do and give that little thing that gives the character. So this is the high poly ZBrush sculpted poly paint, same process and stuff over again. This is the in-game version. I kind of made her skin a little bit more dead and kind of roughed her up and pretty much just kind of like pooled blood to where she was sort of dripping. Now I probably pulled a little bit too much blood into the bottom of the dress looking at this again, but I just wanted to show that she just was messed up, and I'm now looking at that little scar on the back of her butt. It looks like a heart. That was not intentional, but we do love her. So it was just kind of fun. But yeah, as you can see, that hand is just kind of hanging there and dangling. So yeah, when you guys like when you create something and you come back to it, sometimes you notice things that you're not quite noticing at the point because you're just too close. This is the updated hazmat zombie. I did the high poly sculpt for it. Keanu did the low poly, and then Joey brought the texture to the final into the game. This again, I was just kind of, what's the worst place to kind of go to open up for him? Being in a hazmat suit. Well, if the mask is just totally crushed, and you're screwed. I do have some like rips and stuff, but that's where I wanted to show. This gave him kind of like his own little world, but he also lost his boot for whatever reason. I have no idea where that went. But yeah, he was just kind of fun and gave it just a little bit more of that the story I've been talking about. That's the high poly version. Zombie dog. it's a Doberman, which is kind of hard to pull away from the, of course, Resident Evil Doberman. You make a zombie Doberman, you're pretty much, you're stuck in that world. Totally love it. I was trying to update the animals into the game. They just kind of were something that I like animals. Sculpted them most of my life or drawing them. So I was just trying to get a little bit more realistic dog rig and updated anatomy, which then will kind of like placate all the other ones. And Joel H wanted me to kind of make him kind of rough, and it's a Doberman and vicious, and something like I did try making a zombie poodle, but I was outvoted, so I thought that would be kind of funny, and I'll have to maybe drop that at some point in time, but the French poodles to me are vicious, but yeah, so this guy was kind of fun to do, so I did the high poly, and then this is where Keanu did the low poly, and then Joel took it to final in-game asset and textured for that. So it was kind of like a team effort on this as well. Yeah, a zombie Chihuahua would be badass as well. Those things are, or Pomeranian or whatever. One of those things would be hilarious. So I don't think you guys would appreciate that if I ever did get that in there. Okay, the next one.
I still want a zombie squirrel.
I will do it. I already have it, so you just got to tell me. So this is Rec, the updated Rec Trader. This guy was fun. I kind of wanted to make him I heard he's kind of a jerk. He's just misunderstood people, but he is just he's just someone that I thought would like a mechanic, kind of constantly chewing. So he does have some chewing tobacco in his front pocket, and there is like a goober. His cheek is kind of puffed out with a constant chew in there. And he has some dribble coming down his mouth, so he's constantly spitting on you as well. Just little subtleties that kind of, again, was just fun to put in there with his overalls and everything else. So he was a fun one to do. I did do the low poly on this guy, and UV set up casting for Joel to do his wonderful texturing and substance and get this guy into the game. Again, I did the hair in the, which is called like fiber mesh, which is kind of like a, it gets some of the idea to it, but hair, Joel had to go into a lot of detailing that stuff to make it realistic. Hair is not fun. Post-apocalyptic characters with, who are, without hair is awesome because you don't have to deal with that tech. But yeah, so this guy was a fun one. Trader Joel. This guy is off of Joel H. Actually, that's his hat, that's his everything. I told him give me some reference and stuff like that because I said I wanted to kind of update it a little bit to make again like a little nod towards one of our owners here and friends. So I thought it was kind of funny, but so I was like, what kind of hat do you wear? I've seen him in a hat, so that's his cowboy hat with the star and everything else, a bead, and then kind of gave him a little bit more of trying to make it towards Joel just for some fun. Now, yeah, and actually, as we were talking about, a lot of the X belts or cross belts across the chest are very difficult. But of course, he just felt like he needed to be armed, weaponized, and so he'd be carrying some shotguns. So I was going to let Koji have that fun trying to figure that out after Keanu did the low poly off of that one. And yeah, Joel said as he did the texturing. So this one, sorry guys, some people are saying I'm not talking loud enough. This is Trader Hugh. This, winter, that kind of stuff. I was trying to make it to where he fought a bear and he won. But as you could see on his face, he didn't quite make it out totally. So again, that was just something having fun with it, that he fought some battles and then he was the victor and then decided to use that as a little coat for the winter. Again, I did the cross belt of the shotgun shells, and I did create a quick gun, but I think I'm nowhere near as talented as Young on the weapons, so I'm going to let them update that piece if he does wear that. But that was just sort of from the concept. But yeah, he was fun. I did the high poly. Keanu did the low poly again, and Joel did the final texture that you saw in the beginning. So hopefully you guys like these. We're still trying to give a little bit of life to all the HDs, and I know some people say that they just want to play the game and not really care. But to me, as a character artist, this is you want to interact with them and just have some get to know them in some sort of way. So he was a fun one. This is a little surprise. I'm trying to get this into the game. He's done. I did the high poly. Keanu did the low poly. I did the UVs and textures for the in-game. So he's pretty much coming in. Just got to sit there and see if we have time to do it. Again, I love animals, so I was just kind of having some fun with them. So this is something I was doing on the side just to kind of get some things going. He is, I added some more feathers to him from the high poly, just kind of add a little bit, but I wanted to show that he's been pecked by other vultures, and so it's just some of the updated ones. I know that these guys are kind of a pain to a lot of people, so I just thought it would be kind of fun to update. So as we slowly get these in, we're just trying to do there's a lot on our plates that we can't quite tell you, but things are coming. So hopefully you guys are enjoying what we're doing as a team. So this is the high poly, same thing, and then the next one should be the low poly. Yeah, there we go. That's the low poly. I did add more feathers. I think I made him a little bit too sparse. I was just trying to say that he's a zombie. So I was trying to think of what's a good way to show, well, less feathers. So I just I went back and added a little bit more variation and some different things to him. So this is where, hopefully we can get this to you guys soon. If not, A20 will definitely do it afterwards. But I just wanted to give you guys a little update of that stuff.
So are we moving on to the Gibble stuff?
Yeah, I'm ready if you want to show that real quickly.
Yeah.
And then we go over to Ryan.
Joel, I need to give you a warning every time I do this because it shows your face for half a second. So, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No worries with it. This is Marlene. I did her a while ago, but this is the beginning. This is some of how the jiggle tech came into it. It at the beginning we didn't really have that, even though everybody kind of wanted it. It was kind of difficult to do. So I was trying to think of a way to just not make it too obvious of what I was wanting, because a lot of times you just kind of, if you push too hard, then it will never come. So I was just doing the eyeball. That's why I did the eyeball popped out. In the concept, she didn't have the eyeball hanging. But I threw that in there because I wanted to make it look gross and kind of odd, because once she got into motion, not having that eyeball move would drive people crazy and kind of go, something's wrong, something's odd, why, what, and then that started the conversation. And so that is how I kind of slowly snuck in jiggle tech to be kind of brought into the game. And then of course that was going to be able to use, once you have jiggle tech for an eyeball, well then you got it for the
other stuff.
Nathan's trying to keep me on check, guys. I'm trying to use these words. It's hard. But yeah, the fat, everything else. So all that stuff could be brought in, which is something that Ryan's going to be showing you. So I'm kind of making this a segue into what he's going to be showcasing, because he's been working with me on a lot of this stuff, and of course taking it. I'm pretty much just creating the toys for him. So the next one is just the Marlene. So as you can see, I actually, in the texturing and the low poly, I even made it more crusty and more obvious that it was stuck. Just to kind of really push it. So that was something I was just doing initially, trying to feel out. So that was about almost 2 years ago I did this kind of stuff. So, but that was something I was, as a gamer, again, I like to have things moving. So then another thing I really like is gibs, things that blow up and things that just make it gore. And of course we're in a zombie game. So this is, again, something that I was kind of, it bothered me that we were just not having all these updated gids. So this is something that Ryan and I did kind of on the side to kind of push. So you will see that. So I created like a little toy things. I gave him a brain, neck. The bottom of the neck is also could be used for arms. We're trying to think of different ways that he can utilize for his stuff to kind of push a couple eyeballs, and of course I want the brain bouncing. This was just a step. I'm going to be going back and adding a different, and making the gib sheet updated with skulls, bones, pieces, everything else, just so he can just take and do whatever he wants with it on the tech stuff. So that's kind of some of the things that we were doing to kind of update and have some fun. So.
Okay.
Yeah, flying fingers, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you guys want to sit there and just barrage Lathan or down the line ideas, you guys think of some cool stuff, within reason, go ahead. It's always the ideas can come from anybody and everybody, and you guys play games, so it's always neat to kind of sit there and you don't really think about it, and it can be as obvious as hell, but until somebody says it, you're like, ah. So this is part of the fun, and especially working with the community, the feedback is pretty nice to have ideas come and helps, because you know, sometimes I'm in the creating crap and I'm not really thinking, to be quite honest. So
Okay, well, I think that's the end of all of your stuff. Thank you, Brett, for walking us through all that. I'm going to actually now, you're going to see my face again, everybody, because Rainer's going to show some stuff, but I realized every time I clicked on these, I'm opening up more and more windows over here. So there's like 10 different photo viewers open, and I just want to clean it up for a second. And I'm out of sync for some reason. Wow, that's weird. Hold on just a sec. I'm going to do one more thing as well. Whoo, I disappeared. I'm back. I'm back, everybody. I hope you're not scared. It's okay. Everything's fine. So yeah, Ryan. So you have these videos. I'm going to go ahead and let me just check one thing just to make sure it's going to pop up just fine. And then where is the button to do the full screen? That's all I want in life, is just a full screen button. Is that it? Toggle? Yep, that's it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now Ryan, say hello, and then I will get this on the screen, and then you can start talking about it. So take it away.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, and if anyone else worked on any of these zombies, feel free to chime in as well. But this is the one Brett was talking about. I wish the resolution was higher, but you can see the hand he was referring to, as well as a large open wound. The open wound wasn't planned, but it was one of those things where you look at it long enough and you kind of realize maybe it should do something. The final version is a little bit toned down.
Okay, do you want me to move? Just let me know whenever you want me to move on to the next video.
Oh, okay, yeah. You can go ahead and go. Brett kind of covered that one anyway.
Okay. Ooh. Wait. Hold on, everybody. Right. Yeah, it's not going to work that way. Here, give me just a sec. Hey, everybody, I'm back. Oh. Because we wanted to loop everybody, but whenever I start the video, then it kind of adds them together, so then it plays one, and then it plays the other, then goes back. And so I'm going to have to like close it every time, and then reopen it to make sure it just loops that one file. So I apologize, everybody. You're going to have to see my mug over and over again as we do this. So there it is. Go ahead, Rainer.
Oh, so this is the Soldier by Brett, but it's purely a motion test. Like in game, it would be moving based on the movement that the zombie does, like if it runs or falls down. This is just sort of like a demo for you guys, just to show like what parts are movable. It's not always easy to see when a zombie's trying to kill you. In this case, I ended up having to rig this whole thing just because of the complexity of it. Not only does he have the moving parts for the guts, but he's also wearing clothing that you wouldn't expect to move too much either, like the body armor. And yeah, unless Brett has any input, I'm free to move.
no, I mean, it's actually looking good. Ryan brought up a good point. I forgot the blood on the inside of the stuff. I mean, it's like once you kind of peel it out, I just need to add that, so just make it a little bit more realistic of that kind of split open and stuff. But yeah, you did a great job on it.
I'm ready for the next one whenever you are.
Lathan, you're muted. You're muted, Lathan.
Okay, thank you. Does that mean whenever I was coughing, y'all were hearing that like I had it flipped? I was like, in y'all's ears? And I hope not. This is Pro Streamer, everybody. That's what I do here. You're welcome. Okay, let me do one more thing, and then you can see this. Boom. Go ahead, Rainer.
Okay, and this is a similar idea, only this one is blending in a custom animation I did as well. Just kind of signal that there's something different about the zombie. Plus, you can't really, similar to the eyeball Brett was talking about, you can't really look at bubbles like that and then not be bugged that they're not doing anything. So this originally wasn't planned, but then I kind of just tried to see if I could make it work.
Okay. So let me guess. Next one.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Let me see if this just works. Oh, yummy.
This one is purely a design concept. It's not like the in-game model. Like this was when me and Brett were still trying to pitch the idea of new dismemberment. So in this particular case, the front of the face coming off wouldn't work if, like, say your teammate hit them in the back of the head. So a final in-game one we figure has to be more general. But basically this was like the jumping off point for a new dismemberment feature that we're going to do.
Yeah, this was where like we're just trying to make something pretty damn cool. I didn't even know what Ryan was planning to do. This is where I gave them brains and a couple other things, but having that come out, that was just that it's sort of like a sell. A lot of times you have to sell things that you have in your mind, and of course push, and then you try to figure out tech, which is Ryan's definitely more tech. I just, like I said, I'm not very tech at all, but then we try to figure out parts, what we could do with an engine, everything else. It's you have to work with a lot of parts of the team, so this was just kind of fun. But yeah, as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, shit, we got it. Excuse me, we got it. But it was pretty cool.
It's okay. You can just, yeah. Here's the next one.
This is a pre-recorded example of like testing it out on the same zombie, but an actual in-game one. Like the goal is we want zombies to have more unique stumps on them. Previously, like you chop at a zombie and their limb would just disappear into space, and the stump that was there just kind of looked like someone put hamburger to kind of close a wound. These are all still works in progress though, so like there's a little bit of glitchiness you can see when the head hits the ground, but these are things that we're working on. So eventually you should see like any zombie in the game throughout the Alpha 20 cycles start to have these introduced. When Alpha 20 first hits, you might see it on a few zombies, and then as the updates come, we'll go ahead and add them to everything. And we are aware that some people like aren't super into detailed gore, so we have kicked around the idea of having an option to turn it off, like if you're just squeamish with that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I think that's the end of your videos. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or should we move on to Koji?
I think I'm pretty much good there.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, that intro video, the commercial you saw at the beginning, Rainer's the one who made that. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I set Alpha 20 back a week when I did that, so my bad, guys.
Yeah. It's so whenever it takes a week longer, yeah, that's Rainer. So I will put his email address for you to send him hate mail. Don't worry about it. It'll be at the end of the stream. We'll have it up there. So home address, all that stuff. Anyway, so here, let's go ahead now. I'm going to click back over. Hey, everybody. Let me get this off the screen. So, we are actually showing a video next for Koji. There is a problem with the videos. For some reason, there's like a big just gap in them that I'm going to have to fast forward to where it actually happens. But Koji can explain what's going on.
Do my best.
He's like, I think I can. I mean, I hope so. I mean, we can just make stuff up. I mean, if you can't think of anything,
go with the flow,
just whatever. Okay, so here I'm gonna play this. We're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so.
All right.
Well, hold on, calm down. I gotta get to here, and then I'm gonna click through. It's so dark, everybody. Find you a buddy
That's
if
game
you
design
if it's
right
too
there.
dark for you. We'll find it. It's somewhere. Man. It's right. Oh! Too far. There we go.
Okay.
Got it. Go ahead.
Alrighty, so what I do is I do a lot of skinning. So I take a bunch of, I guess, a hierarchy of joints, the skeleton, and right here you can see how when you parent the mesh, this is Brett's cop to the skeleton, you can't just instantly move it, but now right there you can kind of see it, his little leg moving perfectly fine after that. It's just some tinkering with painting of weights, as you can see how everything's stretching when you're moving him. And yeah, so this is kind of what I've been doing for a while now. It's pretty fun, pretty tedious. Been doing that for a lot of the zombies and characters and stuff, the ones that were displayed just now. And
There we go. Got it. Go ahead and talk about it.
It's
There's
so
like a
good.
sweet spot where I have to find it.
I
It's
think
fine.
this is a good spot to segue into the dog rig, actually, zombie dog rig, where this is Brett's dog, and it has to animate, and so we could either do that with mocap, or we can just actually just animate, skin and rig a dog and animate it by hand. And so this is me messing with the dog rig, and this one I made. It's got a lot of features, you can mess with the the legs and the jaw and the ears, and yeah, it's still pretty rough though. It's not it's functionable. It'll work for. Yeah. But I think we're done with the rig.
Okay.
We got some
Trying to get it
animations,
to-
I believe. Yeah.
There you go.
Of it. There we go. All right, now it's alive, kind of. All right. That's kind of like a test run cycle for it, and it's got a little flappy jaw right there, because it's a zombie dog. I think it just got shot, Okay, yeah, it's dead. Yeah, that's its death loop,
Oh,
Yeah, I always like to, have them like jump and stuff. That's its sleeping. So there we go. Yeah, that's its sleeping animation. Looks like a dog sleeping. Oh, it just woke up. There you go. The dog waking up. Very exciting. Look at it.
Okay. Let's see if I can find the next one.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
This is like a treasure hunt here.
I know. It's like, I don't know, something happened with the exporting of the videos where it just.
It's okay.
I
It's in
don't
there
know.
somewhere. We'll find it. We will find it. It just.
Oh man.
There you go.
All right. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
bearing with me. And this is the spider zombie, and this Brett wanted the jaws to open up, so this me opening up the jaws and the tongue and the teeth moving around, I call it like more of like that predator kind of look, or yeah. So it's kind of cool. The tongue moves. It's got quite a bunch of additional joints for sure. So yeah, making this was pretty tricky for me, but it was a lot of fun. Really good learning experience.
Everybody, if you
And,
need to see that again, here I'll click it back on. I
Yeah.
know a lot of you are not terrified enough. So there you go. You're welcome.
That's cool. Yeah. This is just more of like a little tech kind of thing, a little tech test, I guess you'd call it, where it's kind of moving around and a little tongue thing, Yeah, really cool character. Brett did a good job.
I'm gonna release this clip as a bedtime story for those of you who need it. Just okay. Let's go to the next one.
I think it is might be a test animation. I think I did with it. Let's see if this is it.
Let's see. Come on.
I'm so sorry, everybody,
Nope.
about this. That
It's
you guys have to
fine.
deal with all this. I should have did my homework better. Oh, there you go. There's that's the tongue jaw thing with the screamer zombie. It's a little bit exaggerated, just so I can kind of show what she can do with that jaw or tongue, I guess. Yeah. Sounded strange. Anyways, yeah. That's
It's fine. It's fine. It happens.
that's what's going on. That's what y'all see, over there.
Okay. Here's the
And there
last
should be
one. Let me see if I can find that sweet spot. Let's,
Should be one more animation, yeah. I think. Oh, there it is. Yeah, little test animation. You know, rawr, it just kind of screams and does some creepy zombie stuff, waving his arms around. I guess. You know. Yeah. That's just kind of like a test animation. You know, just to.
that's what the sound's going to be, is rawr.
Very spider-like sounds, you know. That's what was going through my head making that animation, you know, or Baldo from Soul Calibur, you know. But
Okay,
it's
so
strange.
I think that's the end of our presentation, everybody. I think we're now kind of close to the point. Let me get it where you can see at least me. I think we're at the point where we will probably maybe start taking some questions. I hope everybody kind of enjoyed all the stuff we showed. There was a lot, I know. But here, let me see if I can get the guys back on the screen. I know I can. I just have to try a little harder. Come on. For some reason, man, Joel, it only oh, there we go. I got it. I was about to say, it only wants to show you. It doesn't want to show anybody else. It was like, nope, let's just show Joel. Joel's like, no, I don't agree with that. I would like everybody to be there. And Joel, we can't hear you if you're saying stuff.
Oh no, I'm just putting my arms up.
Oh, okay. Well, now they can. Oh crap. Hey, all those names up there, they're not here. So forget those names you saw up top, because those aren't the people here. These are other people. Oh man, I knew I forgot something, everybody. So yeah, I mean, at this point, if you could try to keep the questions related to something that they work on. Please don't ask questions about weapons or just anything outside of characters or zombies, things like that, animals. You can ask those questions, but don't ask about random gen or things like that, because we're going to save that for a different night. Actually, next week we're going to have the environment artists, and Brian's going to be here with some animations. Young Hal's going to be here with weapons. I don't know who else, but so there's going to be plenty of time to ask those questions. So, guys, if you want, just kind of look through the chat on the screen. If you see a question you want to answer, grab it, start answering, take turns.
Trader Jen, I don't know if we have an image of her.
Has Trader Jen changed this alpha?
No.
They're asking technical questions about
Oh.
Trader Jen, if you
Okay.
get my drift. But I mean,
no.
she's just standing still, isn't she?
Yeah.
It's not like you walk in and she's on a treadmill, you know? So what do we do there?
We're not adding treadmills, everybody. Just before
At the moment,
anybody starts asking, it's not happening.
Somebody did ask if the new Gibbs system is an Alpha 20, and that's a gradual thing. So like at first release, a few zombies will have it, and then as Alpha 20 updates come, then more zombies will get it.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's definitely something that we're doing. I have to come back and create some parts for Ryan to play with. He's the tech side and has been, pretty much the guy that pushing the stuff to get it in game. But yeah, we're definitely gonna update these things, make them pretty gross and blow up things, and slowly do this as we get more time.
Basically, it was either that or we delay Alpha 20, and we're not going to delay it for that. So it's a gradual thing.
One day you'll be killing a zombie, nothing happens the next day, splash.
I think somebody asked about color variation for the zombies. I think I don't know if we have it written in stone, but I think we're going to try to do some color swapping stuff for some of the zombies where we get a little more color variation in some of their clothing.
Yeah.
Someone did ask about if there was going to be any player creation changes, like to the models there. I know that's not supposed to be Alpha 20, but do you guys know when we're supposed to be doing that?
Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the
You
works.
heard it here,
for sure.
everybody. Future.
This
It's
is a testy question. I don't know if we can answer that one.
well, Lathan put it out there, so
Oh, did he? Did he already?
He-
I
Let
mean,
the
I
cat
did
out of the
ask
put it
it.
out
I
there.
mean, it's fine. You can answer that it'll be
Um,
after Alpha 20. How about that?
Yeah, after 820 for sure. But yeah, we're all working hard on it. We've all got some cool stuff. Some of the things that someone said we can't show. I think Keanu said we can't show it yet. There's cool stuff coming. We're working hard, guys, to make this game.
It's a little
good.
tease.
Yeah, a little tease.
Yeah, those are all things we're working on hard on at the moment, and yeah, you're seeing some of the stuff that we've done for a little bit, and that's yeah. So maybe the next alpha, we'll see a good bit more of that.
What other
Here's
things Lathan have you teased that we can like slowly allude to?
Oh, well, actually, here's a question. Brett, when are you going to check in that zombie squirrel? Because we need that zombie squirrel.
I tell you what, we'll have it in pretty soon. So I was even trying to do like eel arrows with an eel stuck on. I mean, I have fun. Sometimes I toss stuff, but a squirrel, especially since one did $3,800
That'd be
in
hilarious.
my house, needs to be shot.
It's gotta be a
So
flying squirrel coming right at you.
that's true.
That would be terrifying. You're running around and one just jumps out of the tree.
Just five
at
slowly
you.
coming down on you.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Zombie rabbits, zombie chickens. Let's just do them all.
chicken.
Just have some fun. Yeah. Maybe it lays an egg that turns into a zombie squirrel. Who the hell knows?
Somebody asked
carrying-
about high poly models. Like, why do we create high poly models that never make it into the game instead of going straight to low poly? If you guys, one of the character guys, want to describe that.
I guess I could talk about that, and people can jump in on it with me. I mean, if they want. Yeah, we do the high poly models. It might seem like a waste to some because it doesn't really go into the game, but what we do is it's sort of like a video game trick that we generate a texture map from it. And we project it down to the in-game mesh, and there's some things that happen in the engine that can. It's like a trick. It makes the low res with the game model look like the high poly model. So it's really a tool to get us to make the in-game characters look much more high fidelity and look like the high poly model is actually in game. So it's kind of one of our tricks that we use in games.
Yeah,
So,
without the high poly model, you would not have a cool looking low poly model. Everything would seem flat and dated. So the high poly model, you pretty much take a picture of it and you cast it onto the low poly, but you take it from millions of polys down to thousands of polys. And a polygon is the squares that pretty much you create the characters from. So just be a layman term.
you can think of them as like 3D pixels almost.
Yeah.
Probably the best way to put it.
Someone wants a cat.
Which new model has been your favorite to work on? Everybody can answer that one. That's a good one.
I just finished up some characters that's I can't tell you guys what they are. That's been my favorite one, but all right, not to be
Talk
jerk.
about a tease, man. The best thing I've ever worked on. You don't get to know about.
It's the best thing I've ever done.
Breadcrumbs.
But I'd probably say the cop. I had fun with him. He's just kind of humorous and a nod to the Laurel and Hardy. Can't remember which one was the heavier guy. Hardy. So that was mine.
I think for me, it's either the. Go ahead, Joey. Sorry, go ahead.
I enjoyed working on that new zombie white just because it had the torn flesh and muscle and bones exposed, and kind of really got to get in there, tear it up.
Yeah, I like that one actually.
Yeah. It's super scary, spooky.
Hey, go
I
ahead.
think my favorite might be probably the Screamer or Big Mama. I think of the ones that I've worked on, or at least the ones I've modeled. Other than that, I think Trader Joel was texturing and working with Brett and Keanu on that. I think that's one of my other favorites. And then like Brett said, the ones that are coming up, one of those that I'm working on now is I think that might be my favorite of. I can say humans, right? Not zombie. So.
Yeah, I think mine's gotta be the lumberjack, and Ryan showed off that bubble kind of new zombie, and got to work on him. I didn't show him off today. He's probably going to be more future stuff. But that guy was super fun to work on just because it's a little new, a little different.
We need a name for the bubble zombie.
Bubbles,
So
yeah,
everybody keeps calling him Bubble, the bubble zombie, and that's
maybe-
gonna stick. And then all of a sudden we have a bubble zombie in game, and then nobody
Yeah,
clip this,
maybe
by
you
the
come up
way,
with a name.
because this is where it
Zit
starts.
zombie, maybe?
Zit
Yeah.
zombie, bubble,
The
I would
zit
say
zombie,
the pustule zombie, the pus zombie. So.
pus zombie,
the acne zombie.
Just call
Yeah.
them bubbles.
The zit walk.
Stop it!
Dr.
It's not
Pimple
bubbles.
Pumper. Zombie.
Somebody asked.
Avocado, maybe.
Somebody asked what all that was shown today is not in Alpha 20, and this is all Alpha 20 stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff coming that we can't show you. I mean, it's even though A20, I think we have like some 20 characters dumping, so it's a lot. But we've been moving on to a whole bunch of cool things that we cannot tell you unless Lathan, gave you the secret out. The bubble, the pus zombie. I'm gonna call him pus zombie. That's one that's probably gonna go past A20. Just the kind of cool stuff we have.
Yeah, we already showed that one on stream, so that one was okay. Past that, no. Are we ever gonna get the behemoth? No, you're not gonna get the behemoth. Clear cell zombie.
How many zombies in total are gonna make this alpha? Wasn't it like 20 or 15, 20?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's quite a bit. So
That
Okay.
was even soon.
I have a
20 to
question.
25, depending on what doesn't get cut.
Right.
Will the deer and pigs, etc., be updated for Alpha 20? So will the other animals be updated?
no, I got some of them going in the high poly. I've been doing it on the side, but that takes a lot to get done. So I do have a boar going, the bear, chicken, the rabbit, the deer have all been about 70 to 80% done high poly. I just haven't zombified them. Some of them I'm still kind of pushing for that. And then you after the high poly, you have to do the low poly on skinning them and then do the texturing. So it's a lot of work past that. And this was just something that I did on the side. Nobody asked me to do it. The reindeer from that drove me crazy. So I kind of said I'm redoing it, and that's everybody was like, okay. So yeah, if something bothers me, I just kind of tend to go off on my own and ask for forgiveness later.
And then this stuff also goes down to kind of design and programming too. So it kind of is on them too, if we're getting new stuff when they
That
come.
is true.
Someone
I
mentioned
have a
about
question.
the radiated zombies. So
Wait,
might be good to add that there are radiated versions of each one of these, and feral versions with the glowy eyes.
So I do have a question. Which one of you are on the side working on our pimp zombie, and how far along are you?
Man, I think we have to draw straws for that one, right? Like, I think we all want to work on that
I think
one.
everyone, yeah, for sure.
Actually, I was gonna suggest we make Latham the pimp zombie.
Uh-huh.
That's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
I don't mind.
Kill
My
two
pimp
birds
hat's
with
around here somewhere.
one stone kind of thing. So
Fun pimp song.
the
Just
fun.
put his hat on him, that purple hat right there.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, done.
No, he's gonna be the new Gen zombie. Or-
Oh no. Oh no. You do
We'll
one
have to have him
cosplay,
dance and we
and
can
this is-
mocap it. Yeah.
Oh man.
That would be a good one.
Lathan's head on a zombie squirrel body. That's terrifying. Let's not do that.
Somebody asked about the blood spraying like Left 4 Dead. I think Ryan's playing with that. He also mentioned that we're trying to take a look at pulling back the gore and seeing if that's possible. So I'm not too sure how much blood is going to spill out of them at the point. But Ryan, you could probably just have 75 gallons come out, can't you? On a cut.
That seems realistic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to be like minimal about it.
Yeah.
Kill Bill style.
Yeah. make a swimming pool of blood underneath them. Yeah, it's really just part of animation, what we want to do. Let's see.
Yeah, that gore stuff I'm super excited for. It brings so much life to the enemies.
That's being programmed by Steven. He did the drone. If you've seen that in previous videos,
Yeah,
he'll probably talk about Dismemberment as well on that night.
yeah, we
he's
did.
killing
We
it.
did in that attempt for Ryan and I to get the stuff going. We got Stephen came on programming side, which is a major aspect that you need to get the stuff in. You can't just do it and drop it in and hope it works. There's a lot of code, a lot of interaction, that goes into these things. So it's sometimes it's just there's too much on everybody's plates to take the time to do those little things. To what they call like pie in the sky kind of things. It would be cool to have, but we don't have the resources. That's usually why things get dropped out, not because of somebody not wanting it. It's just there's other more important stuff.
People asking about treadmills now.
Treadmills. What about treadmills?
Yeah, guys, keep in mind that when you're putting in your questions, chat is flowing by really fast. So if you put in a giant paragraph, we're not going to be able to read it in time. It's going to just slip away. So just try to make them just short and sweet. We'll try to answer them.
I think somebody's asking about zombies in like snowy biomes. I think we have talked about doing something like that. I don't know if that's greenlit or not, but I know Justin was talking about getting some bluish tones on some of the characters, maybe even some snow on them when they're in the snow biomes.
Yeah, dynamic objects, which characters are. It's a movement, has attachments. There's a lot of stuff that goes to them compared to a static object like a car, where you could just put snow on top. It's a very difficult thing. That's why a lot of times you see a character on fire. The fire never looks as good as it on the trash can next to him, because there's just so many things that go into them. So it's yeah, we would love a lot of this stuff. The same thing with color, making the skin change colors. It's better if you have a texture with that skin color and detail into it. And when you do just a color swab, changing it from a pink or a blue or whatever, it just never looks as good as a traditional texture. So that's a lot of times where we're trying to figure out the best way to attach color swaps and make the character still look solid.
They're asking about door gibs for Ryan.
Yeah, destroying mechanics from Ryan. I don't know. Let's see, that's.
Do you mean like a machine or a guy who's a mechanic?
I think they were going on to the mechanical stuff and doors, and I think that's where they were touching about it. So
English language.
Yeah, that would be more of like a polished thing later on, probably. But yeah, I've looked into that. Actually, one of the videos that I couldn't show earlier had something like that. It was basically a street light that you could break, and the light falls off, sparking. Technical issues. And somebody asked about will Gib system be in Alpha 20? It will be initially on some zombies, and then as Alpha updates happen, it'll be enabled for more zombies.
I saw somebody asking about the biker zombie, the biker. I updated the biker zombie. I don't know if it's a different character, but he's already in there. He's the guy with the whole bunch of tattoos and such. So.
I'd like to answer a question to Magic White Rabbit, asking about updated food, drink, and eating animations and stuff. It has been talked about for sure, different variants of food and drinking stuff, because I think right now it's like a brown baggie or something like that. But it has been talked about, and me and Brian are actually, trying to, considering on working on that. Yeah.
Farmers. So we did cut some of the zombies, pull back on the scope a little bit so we can do all these, high definition. So like we cut, the cheerleader and the football player, and I think the farmer was one of them.
What has been done for the farmer and cowboy zombie?
As far as I know, they're what Joey just said. I think they're not going. I haven't seen them come down the list. So
Yeah, I want to say Zombie Yo was kind of like
I
in that
sort of,
realm, sort of in that realm. I think he was kind of replacing those guys.
Yeah, he replaced the cowboy.
The cowboy, yeah.
yeah, he was. I guess you're right. He's kind of a farmer cowboy. So
Yeah, he's like a farmhand type of guy.
Keanu already handled it. Done.
It's a while back.
Are there any zombies leaving the game?
Joey mentioned the cheerleader, the football player. What other ones, Joey? Do you know?
Demolition? Why don't you mention the demolition one, Joey?
Demo's still in there, I think.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the big one. And,
There were so many in there to begin with.
I think zombies that got cut were ones that like wouldn't make sense to have them in populated areas, like a football player at I don't know, downtown or something like that. I think they were wanting it more just kind of general population zombies than just yeah.
yeah, more zombie dogs. That's it's all game. I mean, I got a squirrel on my list right now, so we'll have to keep. Let's see. This chat does move fast.
Any plans for giant venomous spiders? No.
That would be so cool, though.
Stop it. We don't need spiders. Not that I'm
Arachnophobia.
afraid of spiders. I just don't like them. I mean, it's not.
You got the spider zombie.
Yeah, you already have a spider.
spider zombie,
Deal
yeah.
with it.
Yeah,
Bring
they
back
want,
the
like,
bees.
Sherlock.
No.
Peace.
There's a lot.
Any updates to garden plants? I don't believe so, but that's probably a question for a different night. I don't know which one though, but I know it's not this night.
If somebody's asking about the variations on the soldier, probably not. I mean, I know we had the demolition that's kind of close to that, but that zombie soldier, it takes a good amount of time to do these characters. 3 weeks to 4 weeks to do a character from high poly to in game. So something can't be. That's why there's 4 of us working, but there's a lot of the time to get when you start on something to final in game, and that's just on the character side. Then it goes to LODs, which Ryan does, which is level of details of character. So the further the character gets away from the screen, the poly count drops, making it easier for people with lower end computers. And then of course it has to go to Koji to rig and skin, and that set up a prefab and all that kind of stuff, and then it populates into the game. And then you have to check for bugs and go through the bug team. So it's a process of a full team to get one character in. So start to finish, from hitting our character plate to final, it could take up to a month and a half with more than 1 to 5 people working on it. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I think people are really gonna like the new enemies coming up next alpha. So it'll more than take care of that.
Somebody asked what will the visual difference be for those that choose less graphic gore. That hasn't quite been determined yet. We don't know if it's going to be like strictly turning off dismemberment at all, or if there will be a lesser version. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, this is just where we started pushing it, kind of talked about it, and then we did the videos, and then got everybody kind of inspired, and then we got pulled into a meeting, and then the ideas just started flying, and then that's when we were able to get Steven onto the programming side, and then that's where we hit the work figuring out, and so that's where now I'm going back to create Gibbs even more, so give it back to Ryan and allow them to start doing all this stuff. So it's honestly, guys, that unless we didn't push it or kind of get this thing's happening, just sometimes there's so much work on our plates. We do this for fun and love, and and paycheck. But I mean, it's like it's sort of like we were doing it just to kind of, as gamers that we love, we really wanted to get this in. So that's how it kind of started happening on the side, just to kind of show or work extra hours to get this stuff, because our things weren't moved off of what we already had to do.
Somebody's asking about like a disruptive scream effect for the screamer. I guess kind of more of a banshee-like effect is what I assume that they were thinking about. I don't know what our bandwidth is for doing something like that, but I personally, you talking about, Brett, you know, things that we'd like to see in the game, and I think that'd be really cool if we could do something like that.
And
I know
animation
audio
is
is
pretty
going to
easy
be
to
awesome.
make.
Yeah, Koji has a pretty cool animation, I think, in the works for something visual to, you know, an animation that work with that visual. If we have something like that.
Yeah, I didn't complete it for this thing, but it was supposed to be for the Screamer.
Koji's humble. He's a humble guy.
Girl.
For the CEO of Higashi, he's very humble and very.
Higashi Pharmaceutical, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, stop by that place sometime.
It's got a tower in the game.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are interested in like the gibbs and animals and some of the other stuff we were doing on the side. Bears, I had the bear almost high poly done. Wolf I haven't touched yet, but I plan to get all this stuff kind of done. I think for 821, I'll probably focus more on that to get a lot of the animals in and maybe pull in some more guys to help, because I think everybody would love to see that. But we're looking into fur tech and making it a little bit cooler. So I mean, like, unless every single one of the animals are going to be matted and look like they went through a Vaseline machine and it's all matted down. I mean, it's great for having blood in zombies, you know, because the blood mats hair. But if you got a little fluffy bunny and he looks like, you know, he's like a chocolate bunny, just as like the fur has no detail, it destroys the realism of him. So
I love your analogy there, Brett. That's a really good one. Yeah, we're working on stuff like that with the fur, and I mean, it's not just something that we can just do. I mean, we can kind of mimic some of the fur and what we have already with the tools we have, but at least for us, that will require some research and development to get all that stuff looking cool. If we can add fur. Some games have, I think, teams dedicated to stuff like that. So what we can get.
like a lot of us worked at id. We had a character team of 5 or 6. We're a character team of 4. The animation team was 14. We've got 2, Koji and Brian, and just on this section, and then 1 concept guy compared to I think 4 or 5 concept guys there. So we're a smaller team, and so it's just some of the things we just have to. It takes a little bit more focus on some of those things, and I don't even know our tech side who would have to deal with all that stuff. Justin and Joel and
On the art side, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But as far as programming goes, I mean, sure, that's not top of the priority list at the moment with all the other things we'd like to do, but yeah, I think wear different hats here, not just doing our primary disciplines. We have to kind of tag team some things and work together in pretty creative ways sometimes because of our team size. But we make good stuff. Move along.
So, I was going to answer a question if you guys don't mind. Someone asked about the Vulture Zombie getting new animations, and it'll get new animations when I get a new Vulture. Hopefully that answers. Just letting you guys know, no pressure on y'all. It's just
This is not Kofi's fault.
gonna get a new rig and everything.
I updated the low poly the Vulture. We did the new Vulture. Keanu did the low poly. I finally textured it, but we have to give it to Koji, who I created a new look of the Vulture, so he has to create a new skeleton, and then set it up and then do the animations for it. So it's a lot of in updating these animals. I was trying to make them look a little bit more based on real characters, real animals. So that changes what Koji had. So it needs a whole nother skeleton. He has to rip out the other one, put in the new one, make it all set up, and then set the animations to it. So yeah, I plan on giving that to him very soon. I guess he was just calling me out. So maybe tomorrow morning.
Right now, send it to me right now. Could you have it ready for the
I'm
morning?
just using it, bro.
My fault. My fault.
They were looking at me, you know, so I have to push
I
it
know.
somewhere.
Yes.
Some people have been asking about variations of the zombie. I've seen a couple different people ask that, like the white zombie and the screamer. It's a lot to kind of make those varied. You can add parts if they had armor on them, but those characters are so unique. You'd probably have to go back and I'll let Joey answer about the white or the screamer for Joel, but it's a bit of work.
Yeah, I think our initial take on that to get some more variation is like a texture that will allow us to tint or change the color of some of their clothing, and that's the kind of low-hanging fruit that we have to work with. I think at the moment for some additional character variation within a character type, like the white or the screamer. So I think that's probably the route we'll go. Some of the other characters are a little bit easier to get true model variants in, but yeah, for the time being, I think it'll be more texture variants between different characters.
Somebody asked when the limbs are chopped off, will you see them actually fall to the ground, kind of like the head did? Yes, it just wasn't implemented at the time the video was made.
Yeah, Ryan showed me an old video a long time ago where he had a zombie head kind of explode and the brain bounced down the stairs, and I laughed hysterically. That is I vote for it. So we'll see. But he's planning on adding. I would love things to blow up and bounce around, and you can pick them up and take them with you. I don't know. But
More jiggle tech.
more
Bounce
jiggle
around.
Yeah, more bounce around.
Jiggle Tech kind of opened up the floodgates, I guess, didn't it?
Yes.
I mean, all the things that we want to do with each character, I mean, we're thinking of different things now because of that, of what we can do, not just with the character design, but, as modelers, like what we'll do a little different to the models to kind of embellish some of those things. Brett's great at doing that. We all are, but, it's been pretty awesome to have that in there so that, we can expand on it.
Yeah, and honestly, Ryan has been using that initial startup to kind of do a lot of stuff that you're not expecting. There were some things he did on the character I wasn't expecting to move, but to add this subtlety. I mean, kind of that allows other artists to kind of take and keep building upon, which makes the character develop. So been pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them like in a horde with pieces missing, parts jiggling. Just a bunch of zombies coming at you.
Well, people were asking about boss zombies, and I don't think we're going to have boss zombies, but some of these bigger, more powerful zombies are kind of like mini bosses. They have like a demolition guy, and he's real strong, and blow through a wall. So we have stronger ones, but not like full-on boss.
Put my poker face on.
Could accessories jiggle like working tools? I mean, this is where it kind of opens up once it has an item. Sometimes the rig has to be attached to it and you can't move things, but this jiggle tech, allows someone on the tech side to tweak stuff. Like, can we shoot off helmets? Can we do a whole bunch of other kind of stuff? It's something that we have to take a look at. That'd be cool, but you're dealing in different engines, and different engines have different, they're good at one thing and another, and it just kind of makes it depend on who you need to touch that. But I would love to see certain things move. Ryan on the soldier had the backpack slightly moving. He was adding stuff to the fat Hawaiian zombie, whatever, where he's jiggling everywhere, the movement kind of stuff, and that just kind of go to on Like, let's say the cop's pistol, can we move that? Yes. As long as it's a separate element and it's not connected, that allows, us to kind of play with it a little bit more. So. Someone keeps asking about the failed survivor turned into a zombie mall with a baseball bat, and I don't know who the failed zombie survivor is.
Sorry, guys,
No,
my
no, no.
camera died.
I think they're just talking about you adding a survivor that is, that got changed into a zombie.
I would rather do Lathan as a pimp than that, honestly.
Yeah, you would. Yep, that's worth it, everybody. I'm okay with it. Oh no, we're buffering. What is going on?
I think
Hold
we're
on,
on
guys.
battery or something.
Hold on.
You
Let's
lost
give it a
somebody.
moment.
Yeah.
No.
Did you say
There it
that
goes.
Joel Hunick was going to dress up as Wonder Woman? Was that
Either one of you. I
Whoa.
wasn't really picky.
I'll dress up as Superman. He can dress up as Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I can make a Joel H model Wonder Woman that in case he doesn't go through with that. So.
I disappeared for a moment, everybody.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, you just got to picture me there. I don't know what happened with my camera.
Glorious locks of hair.
Just use your imagination.
If this helps, guys.
Oh, there we go.
That's a reference.
Oh, you got.
No, he's already got. Yeah, he's already got the hat. Yeah. See, makes it easier.
It's going to happen.
It needs its own pimp walk.
Oh,
too,
look,
zombie.
even Rick would pay to see that.
Yeah.
And see? I feel like that's him saying make the zombie. Because he said he would pay, apparently, for one of you to... Oh,
Extra
man.
love given to the artist that does it. All right, we're all doing it now.
Yeah.
There's going to be like 4 variations of it. We'll all get to choose. Oh,
Guys,
man.
I'll make a new walking animation. Yeah. I see that. I've been seeing.
We
that.
don't have to all hands on deck this, but
zombie walking.
I like
I'll
the...
do another one for y'all.
I
I've
like
also
that you
seen
all are
the,
ready to jump in.
They've also mentioned the eating and everything else. So I mean, eating and walking, that was the 2 biggest things on animation side. So
yeah. I got some stuff to do after this.
yeah, until I get the vulture to him, I guess he can be working on. Yeah, someone called you out, Koji.
Oh man.
Let me see. Children's zombies. I don't think so. To be quite honest,
I don't think anybody wants that.
some movies have touched it, but I think that's just kind of a little bit too creepy, honestly. So I don't think we're going to touch that.
Will they allow that in Germany?
I don't know. There's a lot of laws, different countries that we work on, and so it kind of limits some of the things that we could do. So
I think we've said before that we're not doing children's zombies. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a weird thing to get into, and nobody really wants to do that. So.
I think we have an older zombie though. Was it? I can't remember. It's Marlene, Darlene, or Arlene. One of those.
I don't know. Actually, I think Arlene was she's in the tan dress. That was the first
Yeah.
character I did for the game. I made her about 47-ish. Not too. Actually, I would say Big Mama's the scariest older.
Oh
lady.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but.
She might be the oldest.
And by the way, guys, I'm gonna give. She is now dating Rec. So she's taking people.
Oh. Everybody can find someone in the apocalypse.
Absolutely. Your life depends on it, man.
Oh man.
Senior zombies, nuns. Yeah, there's a lot of characters that once you start opening up, again, it's something that we can keep adding as the game goes on. But Bob Vila, Tool Belt, yeah. A lot of people have some good ideas. Chef Zombie, maybe the Muppet guy, Burger.
Dragon zombie.
Yeah, Assassin Zombie. Let's see.
Yeah, I will say a zombie clown
Clown?
would be terrifying. That actually would be kind of cool. Really,
That would be sweet. Yeah,
that one it would have like a really limited like place to be in the world, but it would be cool. I guess that's the
And when
same
you
problem
beat
as
his
like the
face,
cheerleader, though.
Yeah.
You know, there's not very many use cases for it.
It'd be funny the clown squeak you hear when you beat its face in, you know. And it's like,
Exactly. Didn't they do that in Left 4 Dead? I think whenever you hit it, it would, like.
Inflatable giant shoes that could just like walk across water. I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm Bill Murray zombie.
Some
You all
questions
get
you
Bill
guys are
Murray
like,
to approve it. No, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say some questions you guys are asking are things we can't talk about, but yes, so there you go.
You don't even tell them what question. You just
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
I'm not gonna touch it, but yes.
You're welcome.
You gotta
Yes.
figure out which ones, people. But yeah, no, it's some
One of
cool
them.
stuff. That's one of them. So.
You've asked like 40 questions, but one of them is yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and honestly, on the people have alluded to the Doberman dog from Resident Evil, or somebody mentioned about the spider having the blade. That's from the Predator, but I did do that based on like I wanted to have it to where like an antlion or other kind of insects have that jaw kind of thing where the Predator was placed off of by, and then Blade did it. So I think if we did a clown, then we would of course be. We're doing it. It's going to be kind of hard to touch upon things that have already been done. There is nothing original, people. It's an idea of an idea of an idea. Tweaks until it's close enough.
I don't know, zombie squirrels.
Yeah,
That feels pretty original, actually.
Zombie squirrels.
You don't
I
see
swear-
very many zombie squirrels.
I wish I could show you some stuff. So it's like in my trash and the things I'm playing around with. The poodle, the zombie poodle, was scary as hell. I tried selling that, but the squirrel will come next. So
The forest won't feel nearly as safe as you're running through the trees and the squirrel jumps on you.
Yeah, that would be.
Hey,
I
Brett,
just
make
want-
a cat.
Yeah.
People want cats.
Someone wants cats that eats the zombie squirrel.
You want zombie cat.
Underwater stuff, that'd be awesome to do fish and everything else. I don't know about that. That's a lot of tech to make it, swarming and everything else.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but like a catfish or something. Wasn't there a catfish in the works?
I have like a piranha. I was playing around with that, but yeah, I just and that's the one I had an eel, and that's where I ripped off the head and put it to an arrow, kind of like as a joke that you can make electric arrows and stuff. I mean, I was just having fun, but trying to sell ideas, people. Let me see.
Somebody made an interesting point. We have zombie cop, we have zombie doctors, but we don't have a zombie fireman. I think that's never come up.
I mean, that is
No, that's why
kinda
there's a
true.
burnt volume, because no one's put it.
Firefighter zombie that is resistant to Molotovs?
Yeah, that would be cool. And then, then that's a good idea because then it goes to design. Design can figure out different ways to make things difficult for you guys, and then it comes to our plate. So, some of these questions you guys are trying to get into, I would contact Joel H directly or Rick and try to sell it on them. That's usually where it comes from.
Just
and
wait
then
till they come back to the stream. Let's not just start pinging them at their...
don't ping them. Don't ping them. Just an idea, but.
Just start
but no,
sending them whispers. You need to add this.
But,
This was all brought up by Brett. Brett's the one who told them to
I
come to you, Rick.
But design is usually kind of, they come up with a character, they tell the backstory, what they plan to have to do, and then they go to concept. Concept then kind of creates off of what the designers or some of what they want, and then it comes to our plate, and then that's where we kind of take it from there. So it's kind of a setup. Design, programming, art all work together in different ways, but design is kind of like the idea, and they make, there's tons of statistics so that they, what can this character do for the player, and that has to be sold first before just let's just make some cool characters, because we could dump a whole bunch of cool things that we might go to, but that if it doesn't play into the world, then it's kind of never going to happen because it's a lot. So.
And don't worry, Joel and Rick are coming back to the stream. So we're going to do a few more streams we have the environment artists and a few others that night. We have the programmers another night. I'm not sure what's the next week, but sometime after that, we're going to start doing some playthroughs. Or wait, Random Gen is after that. And then we may be doing... we have a schedule. I'm probably missing something. So, yeah, Random Gen, Rick just said. But after that, Rick and Joel are going to be back here for us to do a playthrough. So you will definitely have a time to say something about your firefighter zombies and things like that. Now, they will be playing, though. So, they'll be partially paying attention. But it'll still work.
Somebody asked about door destroying mechanic, but it was kind of vague. New doors eventually are supposed to let you shoot through the holes in them. It won't block everything. That's when the update happens. But your question was kind of vague.
I'm not answering the question about if we're going to make it to Halloween or not. I don't do the dates. You have to wait till Rick and Joel are here and let them say it. I'm not. That's not me. One of y'all can say it if you want, but I'm just...
Already in enough trouble.
I'll get paid.
Yeah, I'm not... I'm going to let y'all do that.
We're definitely working hard to get it to you as soon as possible, but also to make it look the best it possibly can. So it's a work of love, so yeah. Whenever you say a date, that it's kind of like a nail in the coffin. It doesn't happen. So
I can definitely tell you that it will be after Alpha 19 and before Alpha 21, if that helps. If that kind of drills it in for you. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I don't want to be too
Someone wants to
exact.
make it, someone's trying to wants to make the world look like Minecraft again, like the originals.
Oh. Nope.
That's a blast from the past, right there.
Let's turn it all back.
Right.
Start over.
Devolve.
Psych.
When will Alpha 21 release? After Alpha 20. I'm really good at these questions.
This is
I can do this all night.
I had that one.
Sorry if I took someone's question.
Man.
Dreamy Miser. Yeah, my camera battery died, so I'm here in spirit.
Some people are asking about loose limbs, everything that kind of comes off or spawning. I would love it to where you could chop off like a zombie's arm and then pick it up and use it as a weapon. I think that'd be hilarious. I don't know if it's possible, but
We're
that's
not
sort of
agreeing
thing
to
we talked about. So, I would love it to be able to pick up a brain and just kind of use it for soup. I have no clue. It's just, the
Also
thing
not agreeing to that.
I don't know. I heard
Sounds
it.
cool.
It's a cool idea, but I don't know if it can be done. And that's the thing is like when you, because a lot of times when you kill a lot of zombies, you have to throw the body off because they'll build up, and then that just it caches and it causes the game to slow down. So there's reasons that a lot of games do that too. Once you kill something, ragdoll happens, it goes through its physics, and then they want to dump it and get it out of there so it doesn't get overloaded. And honestly, there's a hell of a lot of zombies on screen, so that kind of you usually probably don't have time to pick up something like an arm or a weapon or eyeball and chuck it at them. So No matter how cool it would be, but trying to find a question that we can answer without getting in trouble.
Will bubbles be more of something you encounter on quests, like the restore power, or general population? Okay, once again, we're not calling the zombie bubbles, everybody. Let's not start this trend. Hey, look, everybody, the bubble zombie. No, that's not it.
Yeah.
Here come the bubble
Yeah,
question.
I know.
There's going to be a clip on Twitter.
I think I called it that one time, and because I was called something too close to something else. But yeah, the pus or something deadly to make it as cool as that.
Deadly.
I know it needs
Bubbles isn't deadly enough.
No,
it needs a deadly name, everybody.
I called it bubbles because I was talking about the big pustules and stuff on it, but I couldn't come up with words. I called him Bubbles. But yeah, he's a mean guy. He's not, Bubbles makes him sound cute, I guess.
I know.
Tumor zombie. That's pretty good.
Like Michael Jackson's monkey, pet monkey, I think was Bubbles. And yeah, that's what I so.
Hey, that little guy was fierce.
Mutated zombie. That works. I'm okay with mutated zombie.
Mutated zombie. Okay.
That's yeah.
And there's some pretty cool plans, I believe, for him too. So let's see what happens with the, what do you call it? Tumor zombie.
Tumors
Like
on the
Bubble Z is a thing? No, it's not. It's not a thing. It's mutated zombie.
Why do all the zombies lose their right shoe? I don't.
That's a problem in the apocalypse, everybody. This is a lore thing. Right shoes just disappear. It's
Yeah.
just
Lefts.
happens to everybody.
Yes, I've noticed that as well. It seems to be a sickness, I guess, of the disease when you turn into a zombie. I have no clue, but yes, I've noticed that too. Great question. Great question. Let's see.
A zombie Gordon Ramsay who just hurls insults at you. Just stands behind the other zombies, just making fun of you. You're terrible with that shotgun. Are you gonna hit any of these guys, or do I have to start doing this? I mean, what's...
We don't want the players to cry.
Oh man. How many subs for Bubbles Lathan cosplay? That would be an expensive cosplay. Think about that. I'd have to get like a whole
Garbage
giant
sack and
setup.
stuff.
Yeah, dude, that would. No, that one I would have to make it a very high goal because it's just the cost of it.
It's just bubble wrap.
No, we end up keep calling it Bubble.
Is there any zombie that I guess the chat's excited for that we've shown?
Look at that. We're asking you questions now.
Yeah, what do you guys?
The
what do you guys
tables are
like?
turned, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions we can't talk. I see them, but I can't answer some of them. So.
Yeah, Spider, Screamer, super cool. Yeah, I like those.
Stop saying Bubble. It's the mutated zombie. That's what we're coining.
Mutated.
Come on, everybody.
Yeah,
I'll have to remember that.
Soldiers on it.
Bubbles DLC win. Stop it. Keep it up. It's going to be a DLC purchase for that. No, I'm kidding.
Zombie nerves.
Bubbles sounds like Mr. Bubble. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. Mutated Bubbles. You just added mutated to it. That's not...
No trampolines, guys.
Oh my god.
Sitting animation doesn't seem that hard to do. Now that I've seen a lot of people want to sit for some reason on furniture. I think I could pose that pretty easily. I'll see if Brian can help me out with that.
I mean, it's not just that. I mean, we gotta, mark the chairs as you're able to sit in them, the couches, and then snap points and things like that.
Some people I've seen where they ask about the updated zombies causing problems for rendering and everything like that. We have updated them to be quite a bit more on the poly count and a few other things, but we kept them within reason. I don't think that you have a lot of issues with it. Poly counts, polys can be rendered pretty quickly, and their texture sizes are within reason. So I think you should be fine. That's why we also have LODs, levels of details, in the game too. So that kind of helps drop out the higher end. So if it's not quite right in your face, you're not going to see the higher level, and then we'll drop out. And we do, I think, two to three LODs with the base included. So that really reduces a lot of the poly counts and details. So you guys don't have the slowdowns.
Somebody asked about the performance on the jiggle stuff too. At one point, I tested 100 zombies on screen with it on and off, and the difference was pretty negligible. It's pretty cheap.
Nice.
Impressive.
There are no plans for dual wielding.
We have the brass knuckles.
Pubert. Rick's not helping with names. I think he's just siding with chat now.
Somebody asked about inspiration from other zombie games. I mean, we take personally as an artist, I take a lot of inspiration from movies, references, life, and it's just you kind of inspired by a lot of that stuff. I mean, of course, you have Walking Dead all over the place. There's lots of cool zombie stuff. So yeah, I mean, I usually pull up a lot of that reference and have some fun with it, and just kind of create a character and then put it away, and then kind of inspired from that personally myself.
That's about it. And we're all using ZBrush and Substance Painter. Some of us are using 3ds Max and Blender.
And then animation happens in Maya.
Right.
I don't know. Still use what is it? Not ZBrush, but
Sculptors.
Sculptress. You still use that a bit?
I haven't used that in a long time.
Oh, okay.
We finally convinced them. There's a lot of people trying to switch us, some of us 3D Studio Max guys, to Blender, and sends out these 4-hour videos on trying to find 1 minute of what you need, but it's pretty cool. So
I got more if you want them, Brett.
Yeah, I know. I just
Blender's great, man. Blender's amazing.
I'm kind of too old to kind of learn new tricks, but yeah, I've been using 3D Studio Max since I started in the game industry 20-something years ago. So Photoshop as well. So I've been in ZBrush since 2005. So it's you kind of get used to it, but most of us work in 5 and 6 programs to get this stuff done too. So and they're all technical, and they like to crash on you at work times.
Mm-hmm.
Rick suggested Pus Pocket as a name. He's just
So
spamming names.
appetizing.
That sounds like a product.
That's like Hot Pocket, but plus.
Swear to God, that kind of
Put it on
joke.
his shirt.
Yeah,
Pus Pocket.
let's put it in there.
Rick, I don't know why you're asking us. I mean, you're the... you tell us what you want to call it. I mean, it's none of us are going to be like, no, oh no.
Will there be any update to the crop models? That's not on the character side of stuff, but I think there's a lot of updates, guys, coming. Yeah, I think you'll be very happy. So
I'm blending in. He's blending in the crowd. Oh man. So guys, it is up to you if y'all want to keep going for a while. We hit the normal amount of time, but if y'all want to go for longer, if y'all want to stop here, it's up to you. We can go for another hour if you want, or
Well, we have 870 people in here. That's quite a bit. So, as long as these people are having some questions, I'm fine with it. So,
Joe.
if everybody else just game.
If the questions slow down a little bit more, then we're gonna stop everybody. So keep
Yeah.
asking questions, because once we start getting a lull, then we're gonna push off. So
You have to ask questions that we can answer, though. That's some of the issues that I'm.
not just random questions. It's got to be
Oh.
stuff that is
You try to get us-
valid for characters.
We won't do characters if we get in trouble. So I'm already in enough trouble.
Sumo, we're not doing zip lines.
There's some environment stuff in here. Man, I wish
Yeah.
we could answer, but
I don't know.
save that
honestly.
for another night. I know some of that, but
Guys,
it's
that's-
another night. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Y'all are asking a lot of questions that have nothing to do with the guys here.
It's a lot of door questions.
Yes.
We can make a Dora zombie, but I don't know what that would be. Is there any feral white model as tall as the old one, Joey?
Is there a feral version?
No, somebody was asking if the feral white was the same height. I think that went by really fast, but it was on the white.
Yeah, zombie white. Yeah, there'll be a feral version and a radiated version.
Green radiated squirrels.
I'm all
We haven't
for
even
it.
done zombie squirrels yet. And you're like, well, I want the radiated version too. See, we give you a little bit, everybody, and you're just like, I need more.
I think Lathan is going to ask for the squirrels for Christmas, and that's going to be
Yes.
his present. So that's
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
the spider will climb like the old spider. I think the spider is gonna have the same animations, if not some of the extra ones that Koji's doing. So just making him a little bit more badass and evil. So he should be doing everything before that he did, plus some.
He's got a few custom animations that are in the works, that will kind of make him stand out, like attacks and stuff like that, his jaws moving and tongue sticking out, Yeah.
Somebody asked about the
the
dog.
mocap stuff.
Zombie dog, yeah.
Joel
Go,
did
Brett.
make pussy. No, I mean you did the texturing, but yeah, it's definitely pussy looking and matted fur and nastiness and stuff. So it's Joel did a phenomenal job on the textures on that guy.
Here's
The render that was shown was the high poly model that Brett did. It wasn't at that point like the final game model with final game textures on it. So that's why you see a difference in what you saw before versus what we showed tonight.
Here's one that y'all may be able to answer. Why is hair so hard to texture or make?
There's a lot of it. That's for one, but it's usually the tech of the engine to be able to render it. You have a lot of draw throughs and alphas to make it look transparent and everything. It's just a lot of tech that goes into it. So usually what you do is you mat it down and make it look all clumpy and oily, so it just you can sculpt it rather than just have tech take over. So it's
Well,
Hair
yeah,
never-
hair has like multiple layers to it, and models it's harder to get multiple layers. So like Brett was saying, if you can texture it and get the impression of hair fine if it's not as voluminous or layered as real hair, and it's just more like an image on top of the model. But if you want something that mimics real hair, like Joey's goatee, that's going to require a lot of layers of different hairs, and what we use to kind of mimic that are like planes of hair with alpha transparency on it to kind of mimic that depth. But when you do that, like it just takes a lot of time, and then getting that stuff to move correctly in game is tricky too. Getting it to render correctly is tricky.
Tech for that. So
Yeah.
if you have like a woman with long hair. You need the physics for the hair to move as she's
Yeah.
animated.
Which we have, but it is tricky to get hair to move like hair in the game
Yeah.
too. And for fur on animals, that's just, I mean, to cover an animal convincingly with hair, with that method that I was talking about, it's just a lot of work, and it takes a lot of I guess different processes or a lot of fine tuning to get those things to actually look correct. So
a couple of people have asked about the player character. Right now, it's just hands. Will you see more of that? Gloves, everything else. I'm not too sure. Joey did the hands for the in-game, and but I don't know if we have plans design-wise to add gloves or items that you can wear with the first person. That's first person, really nice hands. That's in UC. So that's a little bit different, but I'm not too sure if we have that coming.
Yeah, right now we have just bare hands, but that would be cool to show what you're wearing.
Oh, thanks, Rick.
there might be a way to do that, but it might be tricky.
Someone asked what the hardest character of the rig was, and I'd say it's that bubble zombie.
Stop saying bubble.
Bubble.
It's the mutated zombie. We just talked about that.
Adapted that. Oh man. Sorry, Lathan.
Yeah, he had like no neck,
Bubble
so
zombie.
it was, right, Koji? So it was kind of hard to kind of blend the stuff.
Yeah, and when his arms gotta like go up, it was
What's the
not
pop?
feasible.
There's a lot going on
It
up
could
top.
work. Yeah, it was a learning experience for sure. And the spider zombie too, as well, was a learning experience. All of them were a learning experience. I don't know what I'm doing, but anyways.
Soldier was kind of tricky too.
Yeah.
A lot of little parts moving.
Somebody asked about zombies attacking the animals and then eating them from that. I think that would be awesome. I do know the vultures go down to the updated Death Gibbs, and Noe actually did some of the dead animals on the carcasses on the road. I don't know about plans about killing a deer by the zombie taking it down and doing that, but again, that's design wise that's something you have to see and convince, and then we come into play as soon as they say yay.
Though I will say, if we do call it the bubble zombie, it would be funny if every time it stepped, it sounded like bubble wrap popping.
Imagine
But
if
no.
it falls, you knock it over, and then it rolls down a hill.
Yeah. Like a tire.
Pop, pop, pop,
Um,
pop, pop, pop.
Somebody said it takes 2 to 3 months to create a character. No, it's for a character on the character side, it's usually 3 weeks to a month to create a high poly to the final in-game character, but then it goes to different departments. So I was saying in total, there's a lot of hands that touch it to get a character into the game. So that's usually about a month and a half, maybe total time, because you got to go through rigging and LODs and get it all set up for the game and whatever. So, but our typical time per character is about 3 weeks to a month per character to create a new asset. The squirrel zombie I'll do tomorrow on lunch, but it'll be fun.
Okay, well, I think now the questions are kind of slowing down. So, how about this? We'll do a few more questions, but then we're going to call it, everybody. Because, yeah, it is kind of slowing down. It's getting late for some of us. So,
Somebody keeps asking about a horse. There is no horse in game that I know of. I do have one modeled already, so that's just if it's something we can do, then that's there's tons of cool animals and that you could just keep adding to this game, but it has to make sense in the area that we're at, what the game takes place, and if design can actually utilize that. So that's usually where it goes to. Like, I'm pretty sure Lathan is going to try to convince them about the squirrel. I'm fine with it. But he's got to get it past, where does that animal show up? How much does it actually take? How much does it cost to eat? I don't know. Will it give you rabies? That kind of crap. So
It'd be cool. I mean, because we have a lot of small animals. It'd be cool if one of those was threatening. So you saw one of the small ones, but you're like, wait a minute. Oh, good, it's just a rabbit. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
God, I got worried for a moment.
yeah, rats. I mean, at some point in time, just like we were talking about the updated gives on the zombies, I will slowly be working on the animals and hopefully hitting them all at some point in time. That was just something I'm doing on the side. So it's going to take some time. Thankfully, I already got some stuff sculpted from other times that I can just try to use, but it has to make sense to get into the game. And yeah, I would love to make zombie animals out of all of them if it was something within design, because it seems like they would get taken down at some point in time as well.
Mutated rabbits grow to bear size and chase you down. Well, that would be terrifying. I don't know. I think the squirrel could be just a little larger than a normal squirrel. Like, somehow it made it just a little bit bigger, so it's easier to hit.
Yeah. Or if it gets radiated or feral, maybe they just blow up a little bit meaner. Yeah. And they go in packs. They communicate and they go in packs. The squirrels are too damn smart for their own good, so I can see it happening.
Once again, this is not confirmed or anything. We're just talking.
No.
You know, but Rick is here. I mean, he can confirm it. If he says yes, then man,
Yeah,
that's
that's
happening.
true.
And
Convince
he
Rick.
just said the size of a small dog. I almost take that as him confirming it. He's like, yeah, this is the size it'll be. Everything. We're putting him on the spot right in the middle of the.
I know. You called him out.
He's like, wait a minute. That's not what I meant. I was just riffing with you all.
We make the poodle into the squirrel. Good. And a lot of times what we do is we have a library of assets and we kind of intermix it, and that makes us move a little bit faster. So it can be done. I start from other animals that are close. Like I would use a deer to make the a moose or whatever, because it has a lot of the anatomy. The horse would go down to a donkey, so you can move faster as artists, and that's what we do a lot of times for our characters. Is we kind of don't start from a sphere, because what we do is like digital clay, just like you would pick up a clay and you'd mold it. We have something digitally, and we don't start from spheres a lot of times. Joel made really cool base messages we could play off of, build off an or another character we already done before. So let's see.
Oh, hey, everybody. Well, I think that is about it for us. I think we've, I think the questions have slowed down quite a bit. We really appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate all the questions from chat. Thank you for just watching and seeing all the cool new stuff. We all get really excited about showing you this. So, we're really happy that you all hung out and, saw all the cool stuff. Thanks, guys, once again for being here. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. We'll be back next Wednesday with another dev stream. Should be I believe we're gonna announce it on Friday to be sure, but I believe it's the environment artists, and we'll be showing some weapons and some more animations.